Hello! Hey, it's Dan here with another build, and today we're going to be doing the first part of a series for making a Dead Space 2 engineering helmet. We're going to add a lot of other stuff. I made this out of foam. I used a Pepakura file, modified it so that way it would work with foam. I'm going to show you how I did some of the modifications. We're going to get into this build, so let's get to it. Okay, so what we have here is a Pepakura file, half of a helmet. This is from Dead Space 2. If I'm saying that wrong, oh well, I'll correct myself. So what I'm going to do, well, okay, first off, this isn't put together properly. This is put together sort of the way that the pattern's laid out. There's parts that poke in and out, and I just flattened it all because I'm going to make all the other stuff perfect. Okay, so one thing to note about the Pepakura file that you're looking at right now is when I'm looking at all these edges and ridges and all that, that's going to be stretched out in foam. So with paper, we have like all these lines that have to be folded perfectly for it to make a curve, but with foam, you can take out a lot of those and just bend it and heat it with a heat gun. And as you see here, we're looking at where it shows that this is there. So over here on the left, we have the 3D model, and when I click on it and it turns red, it shows a red outline on the right of where it is on the actual paper when I printed it out. Each one is a piece of paper. So you print out each one of those, and then you cut those out. And since I was just making a pattern, I didn't worry about cutting out all the little flaps. I just cut around them, cut out the shapes, and just taped them together temporarily to make a pattern. And I also, for some patterns that were too rounded, I cut the darts out and just like taped those together, and then flattened it out more onto another piece so I could have a better pattern for the foam. You can see these lines here. That's why I drew in pen. That's where I'm going to separate the pattern. Ignore this line. I'm going to do a line there, 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 and then these are going to be darts. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So let's get to cutting. So that lays flat enough for foam. We're going to be making this helmet out of foam, so I just need stuff to lay mostly flat. That would be fine enough. It's crinkly, but with foam it bends. Totally good. This one, I know it's a small piece, but since it flares out a little, I'm doing this as a separate piece. And I hope these darts work out well. One dart here. One dart here. One dart here. Alright, so this dart needs to go more. Yeah, and that. Let's put a dart here. Hey, so this one's gonna have a lot of darts, but it's also gonna be covered up by a lot of pieces, so I'm not too worried about it. This one doesn't seem to do much, so I might not do a dart there. All right, so what I have here is white EVA foam or craft foam or whatever you want to call it. I usually use black, but they were out, so I'm just going to use this. I'm going to trace these out. These are going to be one side, which is the left side. Hey, now I'm gonna trace out these onto another sheet. Here, let's just trace this out, right? Okay, so I'm gonna trace this out, cut these out. This one, since it is going to poke out, I'm going to do a bevel cut on it. Everything else is going to be straight up and down 90-degree cuts. All right, this is a sharpener. Excellent. So this is 5mm craft foam. I don't know if I told you that in the beginning. Alright, so now we're going to cut these darts out. Okay, so there's another piece. You guys get the idea. I'm going to cut all these out. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have all 8 pieces cut out. I'm going to start gluing up the darts inside this, and then I'm going to heat form some stuff and all that, glue it all together, and I'll show you some of those parts. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna just glue all this up and maybe show you some of that. Okay, so what we have here is all of the glue that's been put on the edges. It's had enough time to dry. I'm going to start by following these lines and attaching them. So let's get this out of the way, this out of the way, this out of the way. Since I pushed it against the desk when I attached them, made the lines relatively flat. Now, just going to attach them down the middle. So I think I let this glue dry a little too long. It's not sticking. Okay, so I'm going to run glue through here, glue these because I forgot about that. And then after that, I'm going to glue this on by these pieces on after I figure out some other stuff. Okay, so we've waited the time. Thankfully, this helmet has a lot of pieces covering up all these lines, so we don't really have to worry too much about that. Now, the last piece we have is to attach the flange on the bottom. I'm going to look at this, see if I cut my bevels right, see if everything's going to work, which looks like it is. I'm going to attach these pieces together like this. Then I'm just going to glue it on. Let's start in the back. Hope I can. No. Stop. I went backwards. Hey, would you look at that? That side lined up. That's a good flare. Oh, perfect. So, let's push that all together. Hey, that's handsome, huh? So, we got helmet. It's got a flare on the bottom. I'm going to try it on, see some different things. We're going to cut out the other shapes. We're going to glue them on. It's going to be fun. Okay, so one thing that I've been sort of trying to do is get these stripes to go across, and I'm realizing the more and more I pull them out to make it so my head can fit through this hole, the more I'm realizing that this wraps around your head way too much. I'm going to cut this line up to here, and I'm going to make it so that this velcros together in the back, so that way this whole shape, these curves, can be pulled in and be closer to the radius of the front of this, like the actual one is. So I'm going to cut this and then try to not have to resize these sheets of paper, because originally these were folded all the way to here. There was no paper in the middle. So I think that's going to help us out. That's going to look a lot better. Okay, so I attached these front 1, 2, 3, 4 things. I temporarily just have sheets of plastic from a bottle in there just to simulate where the screen would be, so I can try to get an understanding of how I'm going to do that. So what I did for these patterns is, since the foam is thicker than paper, I had to extend, as you can see. Oh, you can't see. So I had to extend. So as you can see, there's a piece of paper taped in between this. It would be mirrored here. That one's a little bit wider. This one has that much added to it. This one has that much added to it. And the one that was on top actually had to have some removed, so it was a little bit of slice removed from the middle, and it fits perfectly on there. So that's what those were. And I had a hard time trying to get these all to look like they were good, but I think they look good now. They're all lined up, and there's gonna be lights hopefully eliminating this plastic. So that's where I'm at now. Hey, so the reason I'm making this is because I have a friend who reached out to me and he wants to do a collab. He is going to have this as a prop in one of his videos. That's going to be in a couple months. Obviously, I have to finish this first. And I'm going to show a build series of all the stuff that I went through on how I designed and made and modified different parts for it. So this is, again, like I said, a Dead Space 2 engineering helmet. There's going to be other stuff on it. And once it's finished, I'm going to link to his collab video that's going to be out afterwards. And it's going to be really cool. So if you look forward to seeing this in an actual live action movie video, I'm not really sure what he's going to do with it. So it's going to be something that's a prop, but I'm sure it's going to be really cool. I'll have all of his info linked in the bottom after I get all that information. So it's probably going to be at the end of the series, probably not this video, but when you see my final video, that will have all the information. And if you like this video, please give it a like. Leave a comment below about something to do with foam smithing or anything else that I make. You can see one of my other videos here or here. I make a lot of stuff. You can see wood, plastics, foam. I might get into metal soon. But yeah, so you have a good day, and I'll see you next time.